Okay, now this is one of my favorite and perhaps one of the coolest things about how the Enlightenment came about, right? So we've been looking at those other factors and characteristics. Coffee. And now you're thinking, oh, please, Mr. K, no way. Way. Here's something crazy. Before the Enlightenment, the average person drank between 1 and 3 gallons of alcohol each day. And that's beer, wine, as well as spirits. Spirits being hard liquor, right? This is crazy. So imagine, right, a gallon, a milk jug. Line up 3 gallons. And it doesn't matter. You could have one of beer, one of wine. Oh, and please don't fill the third up with hard liquor, y'all. Oh, and then each day you got to drink that. Oh, now a lot of people go, are you serious? And yeah, I'm dead serious. And then a lot of people say, well, why in the world do people drink that much? Reason being, we have to remember, right? The microscope wasn't invented until the Enlightenment, right? The Industrial Revolution hadn't happened. And so what people did, thanks to ready coal, right? And microscope, they realized that if you boiled water, you would kill all those critters in it, right? Now, before the Enlightenment, the way to kill all the stuff that's in water was to mix it with alcohol. So people would, say, for example, take wine and then mix it with water, and then the alcohol and the wine would kill all those microscopic creatures, and then you would drink it. Same thing with hard liquor. You would mix it with water, and then that's how you would make the water safe to drink. Now, as we all know, alcohol is a depressant, right? So just try to imagine during the Renaissance, right? Going about your day, you start your day drinking some beer, right? Because there's no coffee, right? You would drink some beer. Imagine what that would be like. Then at lunch, you drink some more beer, possibly some wine. Then after lunch, chances are, man, you've got to be halfway drunk, if not just full bore drunk, and try to get through your day without falling asleep, without passing out. So during the Enlightenment, coffee replaced alcohol. People stopped drinking so much alcohol and they started to drink coffee. And they're thinking, so what? This is stupid. No, it's not. Coffee is a stimulant. In addition to making the water safe so people aren't getting diarrhea, getting dysentery, people are becoming stimulated, right? Just like you all know, a good way to crank out a paper is to have a cup of coffee, and then all of a sudden you get perked up and the ideas start flowing. Yeah. And because of coffee, what developed were coffee houses. So literally, for 1 or 2 pennies, it's true, you could go in a coffee house, sit down and drink coffee, and you were able to hear people talking about new ideas. And then you could sit down with them and talk about all these new ideas that were bubbling around. So, for example, if you might not have been wealthy enough to go to university, you could go to a coffee house, sit down at a table with people who did, or maybe at one table away, and you could listen to their conversations and listen to what they heard in their university classrooms. And then you could kind of cobble together an education. Wow, this is so cool. So what's happening during the Enlightenment is rational thinking continues. Oh, so cool. I love coffee. Meanwhile, take a little history break. Great Britain is formed. This is when Wales, England, and Scotland join together to form Great Britain. In 1714, George I becomes king. He's the first from the Hanover line, the Hanovers, and they're not English, right? They're not British, they're German. He can't even speak English when he comes over, everybody. But guess what? Nobody cares. The economy is cranking, and he is a Protestant. A little hiccup with the failed war with Spain. We won't remember that. Then, in 1748, Great Britain defeats France in North America for control of the continent. This is what we call today the French and Indian Wars. So now Great Britain has control of all the continent. And, little side note here, in order to pay for this war, Great Britain starts to tax, guess who? That's right, the 13 colonies. So this is right here, the start, one of the reasons why 13 colonies became angry with the Brits. Then Great Britain gets India as a colony. And this is where we get the quote, "The sun never sets upon the empire." And it's true. During this time, England was the world's superpower. England had colonies all over the globe and was making money left and right, because when you have colonies, the colonists are taxed, right? In addition, they send raw materials to you. Then you take those raw materials into finished goods. For example, paint, metal, glass, and then you ship those fine goods back to the colony, and they have to buy your manufactured goods at the prices you set. So with all these colonies, Great Britain is making money like crazy. So, here's a quote from one of our authors, Alexander Pope. "On life's vast ocean diversely we sail, reason the card, but passion the gale." Card is a rudder. So what Pope is writing about here is the conflict between reason and passion, mind versus emotions. This is a common theme to a lot of the literature during the Enlightenment. Passion was viewed as the driving force, the wind, but passion must be steered by reason and rational thinking. During this time, individuality was not encouraged. The emphasis was upon the social group, the community, and the individual really was not valued. It was more so what the individual could do for the social group. Wow. So there we have it, everybody. The Enlightenment. So as we start to move through the readings, we're going to take these different puzzle pieces that we looked at in these overviews and see how they're reflected in the period literature.